Okay, guys, so today we're going to be predicting the SEC tournament game by game, and we'll get right into it. To start out, you can see we got 13 Vanderbilt and 12 Arkansas. Number 12, Arkansas. Obviously, Vanderbilt took game one when these two teams played back in Fayetteville. Vanderbilt's got some raw talent. You've got Ezra Manjon, and that's a guy who you can trust to put up 20 a game. That being said, Arkansas has shown they could possibly make a run very deep into this tournament. I don't think Vanderbilt's going to have enough firepower, especially with guard play. Tyron Lawrence won't be enough to stop Devo Davis and co. And I'm going to take Arkansas, let's say 86-74. Missouri, as we know, went 0-18 in conference play, so this one right here is going to come as a surprise. However, I do think that Sean East and company will have enough to pull off some Wednesday magic here and guide Missouri to an upset win over the struggling Georgia. And it's going to show that next year is a make or break year for Mike White, and they've got to win. But I think Mizzou's going to win. This right here in the 8-9 matchup, it'll be 12 o'clock Thursday, SEC Network. It's another set of teams who just played in Baton Rouge when LSU was trying to get back onto the bubble. However, Mississippi State beat them by 20. And Josh Hubbard is one of the nicest freshmen in the country, in my opinion. So I think Mississippi State will have no trouble and will be able to move on to play Tennessee. So next we have what will be a 12 versus 5 matchup with the Arkansas Razorbacks, who, led by Khalif Battles, amazing play over the last 5 games. I feel like they have the potential to make a very deep run in the SEC tournament. However, you've got the 5-loss South Carolina Gamecocks standing right in their way. I think Colin Murray-Boyles, BJ Mack, and co. will be too much for Mekhi Mitchell down low, carrying South Carolina to a win. So next we're going to have a matchup that we just saw on Saturday, which is the Texas A&M Aggies, who dominated in Oxford at Ole Miss. Ole Miss was a team who started off the year 13-0 and was on the bubble for the majority of SEC play. However, they have found themselves way off the bubble, and it is now Texas A&M on the bubble. I think it'll be a little bit closer, but don't expect this to be a nail-biter. I'm going to say Texas A&M is going to win solidly somewhere in the 10 to 15 point margin range, and they will move on to play Kentucky Friday night. So next here, I just want to talk a little bit about this Florida team because no surprise, guys. I'm sorry. Missouri's not going to beat Florida. Georgia won't beat Florida if they get past Missouri. Florida's going to easily get past them. Walter Clayton Jr., Zion Pullen, Will Richard. That is an elite backcourt with Micah Hamilton and Tyree Samuel in the front court. This is a team that has the potential to make it to the Elite Eight. If they get a friendly draw in the bracket, nothing is stopping them. If I'm a team like Iowa State, I do not want to play Florida. Florida will have no trouble with Mizzou. So next we have SEC Player of the Year, Dalton Knecht, Rick Barnes and co., who everyone follow me on Instagram right now at SEC Capital. If you saw that, my hot take was Rick Barnes retiring after this year. We'll get into that another day. But they will be taking on Mississippi State in my prediction. Mississippi State beat Tennessee in just the second game of SEC Conference play in Starkville. However, this is in Nashville, near home game for Tennessee. They will not. Josh Hubbard's. This is going to be a close game at halftime. This will be definitely a single-digit game at halftime. Dalton Knecht, Zakai Ziegler, they will all be just way too much for State. I'm going to say Tennessee puts up 90 on the Bulldogs, and it's going to be a good defensive test to get them ready for later in the tournament. Yeah, go Vols here. So next, we have one of my favorite teams, just watching them play, and you can even see it in this video. That's the Auburn Tigers. This team has the best chemistry, and they mesh the best together out of any team in the SEC. They beat South Carolina, who I'm projecting them to play by 40 in the regular season. Yes, it was at Auburn. Yes, it was when South Carolina was playing bad. No, you can't make up 40 points. I've got Auburn and Janai Broome here beating South Carolina. It'll be a lot closer, I'd say by about 10. And Bruce Pearl's going to get another whack at Tennessee. So next we will have Texas A&M against Kentucky in the 2-7 matchup. If you remember, Game 3 of SEC play, Kentucky made the trip down to College Station and came up empty without a win. However, just like Tennessee, if anything, I think Kentucky is going to have the most home court advantage here in Nashville, as Big Blue Faithful is by far the best SEC fan base in basketball, that is. So, this is going to be a close game. My bold prediction, Texas A&M is going to lead at halftime. They could lead by 8, but I still think Reed Shepherd and Rob Dillingham out of the backfield, out of the backcourt, and look for Zvonimir Ivisic and Ugonna Onyensu to have a big game in the front court to carry Kentucky to a win. So this right here is going to be one of my bolder takes. I know a lot of y'all understandably have Florida beating Alabama here in this 6-3 matchup. Obviously, they won 103-85 in their last meeting in the Swamp. However, Nate Oates, 6-0 in Nashville. He does not lose in Nashville. Even though I think they will eventually lose in this tournament, I think I wouldn't be surprised if they're the betting underdogs here. I think Mark Sears, 30-point game, you're going to get 8 or 9 assists out of Aaron Estrada. I think in the front court, the key for Alabama to win, you're going to have Grant Nelson have one of his best games of his Alabama career. If all of this happens, and I'm going to say it does. I'm going to say a lot of it does happen, and mixed with some misses from the Florida backcourt and Walter Clayton. If they get cold like they did against Vanderbilt, that all leads to an Alabama win, which I see happening. So next is a matchup that I'm really looking forward to, and I really hope it happens. It's Auburn getting a second crack at Tennessee. And just like y'all have been predicting Florida to beat Alabama, I have also seen many, even from some Tennessee fans in the SEC community, I've seen lots of predictions having Auburn beating Tennessee. I'm going to actually take a rain check on that one. I think Dalton Knecht, this is going to be his best game of the tournament, the SEC tournament, could be his best game in the postseason. I think Rick Barnes will have the troops ready to play. Bruce Pearl historically is not good in the SEC tournament at all. So all this mixed together shows me Tennessee narrowly an 84-80 game. It's going to be a really good game. So next we have a rematch of the bloodbath that occurred in Lexington just 3 weeks ago. So that's going to be Kentucky and Alabama. This is going to be a lot closer, all right? This isn't going to be a 20-point game. It's going to be competitive at halftime. It's going to be competitive coming out of halftime. If Florida wins too, I'm the same thing here, but I'm going to come up with the same winner, Kentucky Wildcats. The Kentucky Wildcats are by far the most talented team in the SEC, and they're going to show it against Alabama. So that leaves us with the championship of Tennessee and Kentucky, the 1 and 2 seed. I know, so boring. But it's not going to be the 1 seed winning. Kentucky, they just won in Knoxville. They're going to do it again here. And I'm going to say Rob Dillingham is going to be SEC Tournament MVP. Watch out for the Wildcats in March Madness. If you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Like this video so we can help get this to see more SEC fans to get to see my content. Also, make sure you are following my Instagram at SEC Capital. I will link it in bio. We post daily, have over 5 collabs daily, so you're going to get a lot of SEC content. If you like the SEC, this is the place for you. Peace out, everyone.